Okay, an old one for you today. An old Bosch GBH4DFE. This is the old powerhouse Bosch SDS plus drill. This was a heavy duty one in its day. Had a few problems when they were new and boys were using them, especially the field. The contacts could break off. A bit of a torture that way. But now, boys always still have these lying in the background as a spare. And they always say the same thing. These were the best drill, or one of the best drills. They keep these as spares for whenever the modern ones break down, which is inevitable. These things were powerful and lasted a lifetime. This one, what is she? 2003, 20 years old. That spark's not good for a start, but she's running, and when they're running, even with the spark, generally that's not what they're left on for. Customer probably doesn't even realise the spark in that heavy. They've actually probably left it on for a different reason. She's actually not hammering at all. That's why she's left on. By the looks of it, she's got other problems. Obviously an oil leak up here anyway. So that's all the internal gearbox oil or grease coming out. The motor's the thing here. Is this burnt out? Doesn't look healthy anyway. And she's hot. Now the brushes are well worn down in that, but they're not gone completely. Yeah, that armature's roasting. Just for them few wee seconds that's been running. It's actually heated up quite a lot. So I would say that motor's actually gone. Right, strip this down, see what we can do. We'll stick that armature on the growler just to confirm if it's gone or not. And then we'll see what we're going to do. Yeah, see the way she's burnt across there, look. So that's been arcing fairly badly. Same as that one. We'll get on, see what the crack is. Speed this up. That's the only thing with the older stuff. Flatheads are a torture. That off. Get onto the motor first. Yeah, see there? The shiny spot. It's a dead segment or a burnt segment. I always get questions on this thing. This is a growler. It's for testing armatures. One thing about it, she is just a little bit noisy. That's why they call it a growler. Sounds like it's growling. So this will magnetise different segments down here. But it shouldn't magnetise the top one, the very top plate up here. These will energise, but this should be dead. So when you put a steel plate on top, you get no reaction. Seems alright that way. It has actual bars on it. You see that needles coming up all the way to the set point. And then last few bars they're not. It's not gone, but it's not good. I was just testing continuity, make sure the actual windings have been grounded onto the actual shaft down here. So these should all be separate and insulated against the windings. If you get continuity, it means it's actually shorted out to the frame of the armature. They can show you a definite failure, but it will not show you an intermittent or a near failure. So sometimes you have to do a wee bit of judgment as well. So that one there, that's actually a little bit higher too. If you had that shiny one and you had the exact same on this side, it'd just be the brushes either sitting up for a long time or just something the customer might have done, but to have just one segment raised and shiny like that, more than likely it's going to be the armature itself is gone. So it looks like that's gone. That's not to say the motor is under strain because it's taking too much load to turn this. That's running very free. So it's not the strain of the mechanism. Customer says he wants this fixed. So if it needs an armature, it needs one. But for now, we'll fix this first. Then we'll look at the armature again. Let's take this change lever off. Push the red handle all the way in. And turn it all the way around further. Past the actual hammer mode. Then that should pull off. Doesn't help when it's actually cracked all the way down too. I have to change that as well. There's some of these here tool holders and these old Bosch 4s are actually removable. This one's that badly worn, I can't tell. It doesn't seem to want to come off. Take off the cap. Put a pair of vice grips on the end of it. That'll allow you to hold it and twist it so you can lift it off. So that is a removable one. And more importantly, there's still two wee keyways inside to actually grip the bit. So that's still good, it's just full of grease. So we have to wash that out. To get into this, need to get these socket head bolts out. There we go. Get them out. So that oil seal there is more than likely gone. That's why she's leaking the grease. Striker pin still works. So that's probably why she's got no hammer. Piston striker worn out. See how slack that is. Not enough grease. This piston is just worn out now over time. To get the piston out, there's a big steel spring here. Pull out the spring. You can take this whole assembly out. Still got a wee bit of compression in there. There we go. Need a new O-ring in that, a new piston, and a good clean. I've got an oil seal down here as well, and a bearing. They seem okay. I'm still turning free. There's a bevel gear in the back of here. Turn on this gear here. That drives this for your piston striker and your rotation for your rotary. It all looks okay. So give us a clean out. See if I have an armature on these parts and get it back together again. Okay, we're on luck. Having a bunch of old stock does pay off from time to time. I actually have all the parts for this in stock, including the armature. Not only all the parts we need, but even more. An actual service kit for a GBH4. So instead of just replacing a few of the O-rings and seals, we just do a complete service, put everything in. Unlike some of the modern Bosch machines or Makitas and that, they give you a service kit, but they don't include seals. Lip seals down here. Actual seals in the back of this, and a seal for the front of the tool holder. This one up in here. These older machines, they actually came with it. That's the big seal. And there's the small seal. Everything you need in it. 40 quid for that, 120 or 130 for an armature, and 20 or so for the piston. So we'll go ahead of this, do a complete strip, complete washout, restore the whole thing, put in a complete service kit, parts needed, and a new armature for the motor. Get this thing running like new again. So we're taking all this apart, so we're also going to take this apart. Because there's parts in this in the service kit we want to replace. Bearing should be alright. We'll just leave the two plastic inserts in place, just in case we forget to put them back in again. Now, the lip seal on the bottom, nothing technical about it. Get that out, stick something underneath. Just prise it out. There's a C-clip underneath. You want to change that bearing. That one feels alright. Just going to leave that in place. Doesn't need to come out. The actual lip seal just presses on over the top again. So we just leave it as is. Right, give us a quick clean out now to begin with. And we'll take this tool holder apart here to get the bits out of that. Now, tool holder itself, with a hammer pipe, sorry, same as a modern one. There's a C-clip inside, the first prise out. Somebody's actually fitted that a very annoying way. That side came up. This side here is exactly an opening of the C-clip. So I can sometimes make it a bit harder to get this out. There we go. That out. Take these out. All these wee bits are on the service kit as well. So get all them out. No, there it is there. Out already. That's okay. And your top bit then, actually we C-clip up inside of here. Most people, the first time they do this, can't figure out how to get the C-clip out to pull this assembly out, but they're just overthinking it. Push it down to get it out. And you can get to the C-clip there. That out. And you can take the rest of it out from the top. that out and this O-ring out. They're all to be replaced. We need to clean these. Right, let's see if we can get this put back together. Of course, Bosch service kits come with a wee diagram to tell you how to put it back together again. All the parts and where they go. All the parts in black, all these numbers with the black circle around them, they're actually the parts in the service kit. So, must be two different models, they come with two different diagrams. Don't actually know what the difference is. Never looked at them, to be honest. Anyway. Brushes, seal for the head, a wee felt seal for sucking up the oil that leaks out, and other O-rings in, seals and whatnot. Not much in it, but it's expensive for all it is. One presses on there. Push it down. Two C-clips, both the same. One on this side. Back down again. Fit all that back on this side. So this C-clip then, hold it all in place. And replacing this piston, so I'm just going to use the old one to seat that C-clip. Now we'll just get the rest of these into place. This one we don't need. That's for the change lever, but we're replacing this as one whole kit. Already has that O-ring on there, so don't need that one. This one here, just onto this. Now, just get it rebuilt now. Much better. You have the piston in to the housing first and slide your con rod onto it. Just making sure you don't move them two washers on either side. It helps if you put it on the right way. There was a spring underneath, so it's trying to push out. Push in this bearing assembly and lift up the spring over this lip here and push it down. Looks complicated, but it's quite easy. All you need is a flathead screwdriver. Just prise it up, push down, and it does all the work for you. A little lip built into it here for the screwdriver to actually grab. So that's in there. This goes here. Your tool holder goes on top. Your hammer pipe, sorry. Plenty of grease on that. Slide that all on. sure you keep your badge. I took out this field just to clean this housing as well. Just be careful putting it back in, that the actual spade connectors line up and you don't bend them. And it's only two little tiny screws holding that on. Also, don't forget about your rubber bearing sleeve. That red one stuck down the bottom of the housing. How do you get that out without damaging anything? Luckily Bosch think of you. Little hole in the base, so you can easily take it out. Take it out first. And fit your air deflector. Now, people are always asking me about grease. So a couple of options if you're needing grease for a hammer, if you're doing a service on them. If it's a Makita, you can go for something like this. This is the part number here. This is only what, 30 ml of grease, and it's a nice light grease, very good for hammers. Gets around all the parts. Decent stuff, but quite expensive. I think that's about €7 or €8 just for that one little tub. So for the likes of this here, you're going to need at least two of them. Stuff I use for getting into the gears is this stuff here. It's Bosch gear grease. It's a lot heavier. Too heavy to actually fill the chamber with. But for getting initially set up, it's very good. But not necessary. It's just what I use because I have it on hand. I always put it into these little syringes to make it easier to dispense. The actual Bosch hammer grease that you actually need for something like this, that is like this Makita stuff, the exact same number but ending in 015. That gets you a big tube of it like that there, but again, quite expensive, cost about €40 or €50 for 225ml. Way too much for just one machine. Even a Bosch 11 hammer only needs about 100ml of grease. The other option away from that, to make it a bit more affordable instead of buying extra, is these smaller Bosch canisters. These are a little bit like the Makita, but a wee bit heavier. So with this here, 015 grease will be a white grease. This is just yellow, but it's the same sort of consistency. And again, you can use this in hammers. That is what it's recommended for. So you get tool holder grease. This here stuff, and it says on it, not gear grease, only for the chisels. That's no good. That is only just to go onto the tool holder itself to lubricate the chisel. This here is actual hammer grease to go onto the actual hammer mechanism. So for the likes of this, you could buy one of these. For the likes of this hammer, for an 11E, you can buy two of them. These here cost about €10 or €11 each. Much more affordable, and they're probably easier to get. So if anybody's looking for grease to top up their machine, go for that there. 014. 45ml of grease. If it's a big hammer, get two of them. And for me, today on this one here, I'm going to use this grease. Simply because I've none of the other one left. On order, but not on yet. I'm going to use the heavier stuff down around here, where it needs plenty of grease, just to make sure there's plenty on it. There's a needle roller on here, you need to keep that lubricated. Use the heavier stuff on that, or the standard grease, doesn't matter. That's that boy. And that's the top half nearly ready. The armature. There's the number there if you're ever needing it. Less people needing these things now. They're 20 years old, there's not going to be many people repairing them. One new armature, bearing and all fitted. Now, some of them had an O-ring on the top as well. This one doesn't. This is the newer of the older ones. Now, we hex end on the end of it. That's what actually engages this here gear here. Drop that on first. Make sure she turns freely enough. Put your sleeve on the end. That's a bit slack. That's grown, expanded. So that's no good now. Have to replace that. And luckily enough, I do have one of these as well. Much better. Might be difficult to get that on without it moving. I'll just push it on first. And with that in correctly in the bottom, drop your armature on top. And just look around it to make sure it hasn't squeezed out or pinched. That looks good. And then bolt this half down. Now, that's that bit. Now if you want to top up the grease in this, you can just put it on through that hole there now with the actual change lever removed. But we've enough on this one for now. So we're just going to go ahead and fit the change lever. Underneath the grease you'll see the wee selector, which is a little spring just there. We want to fit this pin in between that spring. There's two ends to the spring, this has to go in between it. And then let's see this wee cross section. There's 4 wee bits sticking out. They're actually different sizes. So this side over here is bigger, which is the same size as this one up here. This top one to the right in between hammer drill and hammer only. So that has to go on in that orientation. So if that get in that way, the pin goes over in this here notch over here. So to get that pin to go into the spring, you need to move it over to there. So the hole and that spring is exactly in this notch. Drop it on. Push the red lever all the way in. And that's it. Simple as that. Now, brushes. It's an older machine, so there's no wee stop on it. Wee extra lead. And you can refit your back handle. Big long ones go up the top, and the 4 shorter ones are in the lower half. And these leads here, big long spades, slide down into these holes. They go directly down into the field itself. Clap them on. Install your bottom cover. And your chuck itself should just twist into place. That's it. Make sure there's no spilt grease on it. We'll give it a test. Sounds better already. You hear the speed increasing as the grease works its way around inside. See what she's hammering like. That's her. One old Bosch GBH4DFE from 2003. Up and running again. Boy wanted it fixed, so she is fixed. New armature, service pack, piston, little sleeve, dab of grease, and she's running like a new machine again. Now, all that at full repair, including all the parts, labour and the VAT, even the grease, you're talking around €200 to do that there repair. Now you can go out and buy a brand new Bosch SDS drill, a GBH 2/26 for around €200. But that is about 3 times the machine than the GBH 26. It's a different style of machine, the other type was the plain straight drill. This is the L-shaped one of the motor coming straight up. These here, bigger, heavier duty SDS drills are a lot more rugged and can do a lot more work. They're a heavier drill and a heavier motor. So this might cost 200, the same price as a brand new smaller one, but this is going to do way more work. You'll easily get another 20 years out of this here thing compared to a smaller Bosch drill. And if you were to buy the modern equivalent of this one, which would be a GBH4/32, the newer version of this, you're looking at about €600. So 200 to repair the old version, 600 to replace it with a brand new like for like. So that there is ready for work and running like a brand new machine. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you took something from it. If you have one of them, if it needs a wee bit of work, if the thing's not hammering properly, you can buy that service kit online and stick it in yourself. Not all that difficult to do. Not even that many tools required to actually do that service. You don't even need the bearing press or anything. Anyway folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope that helps somebody out there at some point in the future who might have one of these things. If you have one and needs a bit of work or it's not hammering right, service kit for them should be readily available online. Not that difficult to fit. Give her a go. For all the price of it, it's well worth doing. It's the price of the service kit compared to a new machine. It's definitely worth it. Give it a try. That's how you do it anyway. Thanks for watching folks. Cheers.